Alright, Canon has finally done it. The full specs are now out for the R5, as well as the price tag and the official release date, and I must say, they are seriously making me consider switching back to Canon from my Sony. Hey everyone, Camber here, showing you how to use your camera to make good videos. So if you're new, consider subscribing. And now let's take a look at what this beast has to offer. So taking a look at this camera, we can see right off the bat, it's a full frame camera with a 45 megapixel sensor. So you're gonna get some serious resolution in your stills, but this size is what also allows you to get that 8K footage that we'll look at later. And the sensor itself has 5-axis image stabilization, which will give you up to 5 stops of stabilization. And when used in conjunction with the stabilized lenses, will give you up to 7 to 8 stops. Now looking at the electronic viewfinder, it comes with an OLED 5.76 million dot EVF. So you're gonna get some great resolution looking through that when taking pictures. And it has a 3.2 inch free angle tilting touchscreen LCD with a 2.1 million dot resolution, which is great for vlogging, shooting videos like this. I don't know why Sony hasn't been able to figure this out yet, but this is what we need nowadays. And looking at the top, the R5 gives us an electronic screen that shows all your mode settings with the mode dial incorporated into the camera body to control it. And looking at the video capabilities, it's true. This thing shoots 8K 12-bit RAW video up to 30 frames per second, and that is really impressive, especially for a camera this size, but it comes at a price because at this resolution and frame rate, you're gonna be shooting at 2600 megabits per second. And just to put that in perspective, a 512 gigabyte CF Express card that costs $600 will allow you to shoot at 8K RAW for 26 minutes. So get ready to be spending a lot of money on SD cards as well as a lot of extra money on external hard drives because you're gonna need a lot of storage space for these. And speaking of which, if you do need some suggestions for good storage, then check out this video I made here on the external hard drive I use to store all my footage. And a lot of people don't even use the 4K options on their cameras because it takes up so much space. So let me know down in the comments if you would actually use the 8K settings on this camera, because I'm curious to know how many people really want that. But then if you take a step down from the 8K RAW, you can still shoot 8K 422 10-bit at up to 30 frames per second, and that'll be at 1300 megabits per second. So with that same card, you'll get about 52 minutes of footage. And then this camera gives you the option of shooting 4K at up to 120 frames per second, as well as being able to shoot full HD at 60 frames per second, and all of these are in 422 10-bit. I feel like this thing is no better than my cell phone now when compared to the R5. And you can also shoot in these modes 420 8-bit, but you will have lower quality in your footage, but it will take up less space. We have dual memory card slots in this camera. One is CF Express card, which as we saw, you'll definitely have to get if you want to shoot at those high resolutions and frame rates. But it also comes with a UHS 2 SD card slot. And one of the best things that Canon has given us with this camera is that there is no crop in any of the recording modes, whether 8K, 4K, Full HD, you have no crop, meaning that all of your lenses are going to be the same focal length for everything you're shooting. And not only that, but the dual pixel autofocus that covers 100% of the sensor will be available in all modes. So they're not crippling us like they have with so many of their cameras. And the price on this camera is $3,899, which you may think, man, that is expensive for a little mirrorless camera. But I mean, come on, this thing gives us 8K RAW footage. Compare that with the C500 Mark II, which is a cinema camera. It only gives us 5.9K RAW footage, and it costs $16,000. Granted, there are a lot of extra features that cinema cameras give us, and this price is justified, but considering the price difference in these cameras and what this offers, this is a great price. And it looks like the camera will be shipping in late July, so just keep a lookout for that. Pre-orders are available now. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this camera. I'm excited about it. I want to use it. I want to know what your thoughts are. And that's the R5. I mean, this thing is obviously really impressive, and I'm excited to get my hands on one to see if I'm going to make the switch back to Canon from my Sony. Unless, of course, Sony announces the mythical A7S III sometime this month. But if this video is helpful, then please help me out. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you soon.